Hello there. Today I'm looking at something slightly different. Here I have from Chateau Mont-Redon, a Chateauneuf du Pape producer. This is a Vieux Marc de Chateauneuf du Pape, which technically I think is actually it's an eau de vie de Mar de Cotes du Rhône, because I don't think there's actually a technical definition for a Mar made from Chateauneuf du Pape, so that comes within the Cotes du Rhône designation. But still, this is a Mar that has been distilled from the pomace that comes from the production of red Chateauneuf du Pape at Chateau Mont-Redon. So what's a Mar, what's pomace, what the hell am I talking about? Essentially we're talking about a brandy, but like grappa in Italy, it's actually distilled from pomace rather than from wine. But surely pomace, if you think about it, is after fermentation. In the case of red wine, the grape skins are pressed, and so you've got dried grape skins. They still contain a certain amount of alcohol because they've been in a fermentation. But if you then distill those, you can produce a brandy from this. Well, surely if it's a solid, how do you distill this? Well, it's through the use of steam distillation. So you have to be quite careful during the process that you don't burn or caramelize the dry fruit. So essentially it's put in a basket and steam is passed through it, but to stop it from burning it gets agitated, and also to preserve the very delicate aromas the distillation is done under a partial vacuum, and so this produces a clear spirit which will come off at probably about somewhere in the region over a little over 70% alcohol, and will then be knocked back with water before bottling. But this clear high strength spirit goes into cognac barrels 365 litre in size. It's a new French oak, and it stays there for 12 years, and during that time it will draw flavours from the oak. So you've got the vanillas, the vanillins that come actually from the oak themselves, giving a lovely sweetness. And then also you've got the caramelized sugars from the oak, which when the new oak is bent to create a barrel, you have to heat that, and that causes the production of sugars on the inside surface of the barrel where it's been charred. So that caramelization note and the vanillas combine to produce over a period of 12 years to produce some lovely flavours in the spirit. I should note that Mourredon also produce a white Chateauneuf du Pape Mar, which they make from the skins of the white Chateauneuf du Pape that they produce. It then doesn't age in oak, it's bottled straight away. There's a slightly different process involved in that, because obviously the white grapes are pressed before they macerate, so you'd need to have a fermentation to actually get alcohol into that before you distill that. So anyway, let's have a look at this, shall we? Because to start with, you've got a lovely colour. I mean, that's a beautiful sort of burnished golden amber colour there. Swirling it, I probably won't need to swirl it too much because the aromas will come off there quite noticeably. There really is a lovely sort of rich, almost sort of dried fig sultana sort of sweetness there. Certainly there's a very notable caramelization there, a sort of burnt sugar note, perhaps some delicate vanilla, but that's not quite as obvious. There are cedary touches, a delicate, quite complex aroma. So let's have a taste, shall we? A tiny amount of this, and this is bottled at 42% alcohol. There's a reasonable burn to it, but quite often you expect Mars and grappas to be quite fiery. This is lovely and soft and smooth, and it's got a caramel roundness and some really very sort of delicate high-toned flavours, maybe slightly touches of candied lemon peel or something like that just coming through, with a little bit of sweetness and warmth from the alcohol, obviously, but it's not hot, it's not fiery, and I've not added water to this to dilute it, to make it to sort of bring the aromas out. It hasn't needed it. I mean, certainly a wine for sipping at the end of a meal. It's delicate, it's got some lovely pure flavours, and they're lasting beautifully on the palate. So yes, that was Mourredon's Vieux Marc de Chateauneuf du Pape, so an aged Marc. Hope you found this interesting, something slightly different to talk about. I do hope you'll follow us, and I hope you'll join us again for some more tastings in the future. Bye now.